Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence, where patrons get access to a patron-only Discord, ad-free videos, and the joy of knowing they help support this channel. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and today I've got a pair of pens to show you from my friends over at Benu. They were very kind and sent me another pen, and then they included another one just because they wanted to, and they thought I would like it, and that is super nice. I have reviewed a couple of things for Benu in the past, and they've been really nice to work with, and their pens are really great. So I'm excited to share these with you. I got these in the mail a little bit ago, and I have not used them yet because I've been waiting to do this review. So let's take a look at what's in these boxes here. Let's see. We'll do this one first. Actually, we'll do this one first. This was the surprise pen, which I was really grateful for. That's really nice of them to think of me. And I think they looked back at some of the other emails and found one that was like, oh, these look really nice, and just like sent this one along, which was really cool. So this is from the Sorbet collection. We have the pen here and its little pen folder. We have an extra long ink cartridge here in Standard International. That's fun. A little bit of packing material. What's this? Our product care and warranty and all that sort of thing. That's cool. Sounds good. Use only ink formulated for fountain pens. Keep your nib clean. Avoid strong shocks. Don't burn it. Don't rub it with abrasives. Yeah, all right. That's all good advice. So let's put that stuff back in there because I want to get into looking at this pen here. I like the packaging here. It's all very kind of eco-conscious. It's like papers and that sort of thing. I dig that. Oh, that's pretty. So this is the blueberry sorbet. Which is it has that sort of purple color you get when you cook blueberries, which I think is really fun. And this is really pretty. One of the things that Benu is known for is including lots of this like holographic shimmer and glitters and things like that. I really like when they do color gradients and that sort of thing and work this into the design. If it was just all this shimmer, that might be a little bit much for me personally, but I mean, this was actually my very first Benu a while ago, which is called Sunday by the Pool. This was a collaboration with my friend Eric over at Amarillo Stationery, and I really liked the way these things like swirl together, and I liked the sort of a bit more restrained use of the holographic stuff and the glitters and whatnot. And I think this has got the same kind of thing. We have this nice ombre from purple to this cream color in the middle there. I like the way the facets interact with it. It makes it kind of shiny, but not too much. This is a really pretty pen, I think, without being super overboard. The clips on these are really great. This is the Euphoria model, which I think, well, almost all of my Benus actually are in this Euphoria model. That's probably going to change soon, but not yet. So yeah, we got this very nice clip here. I think they work well. It's got this little spring up in here, which is nice underneath this finial. No other markings aside from the Benu here as far as branding. I think that's good enough. And also, frankly, I mean, I think Benu pens kind of speak for themselves. Like, which one, it's a Benu when you look at it. Opening it up takes, how many turns do we have here? 1, 2 and a half. 2.5 turns, which is kind of, it's kind of a lot, but often I will keep these in one of my my pen wells. One of these things right here, so you can just kind of stick the cap in there and you have yourself a desk pen. You can just grab it when you're making notes and just put it back in. It's very convenient. You don't have to unscrew it every single time, which is nice. Inside here, no cap liner, I don't think, in these, but they do stay wet for a really long time. It's one of the things I really appreciate about Benu pens is that they don't dry out on me. I don't like it when a pen dries out. I have far too many pens inked for it to have pens that dry out very quickly. Like they don't last for me if they dry out quickly because I don't get to use them all every day. So we have here Schmidt nib. This is a medium nib. I haven't inked this one obviously, but this one has a Schmidt medium nib, and I will show you how that writes. And the answer is it writes super well. I actually haven't gotten any Benu pens that didn't write really well. I also like the length of the section here, and I like how the threads are very flat. We have these square Acme style threads here, which are very flat, and so they're not uncomfortable if you put your hands on them. So some people hold their pen fairly high, and if that's the case, you can put your fingers on the threads, and they are not sharp or anything like that. It feels really nice. There's a little bit of like very nice iridescent shimmer in the cream part there, which I didn't really notice as much in the barrel, although it's definitely there now that I'm looking more at that and less at the purple, but really shows in the section there. One thing about this section, I think, is that if you fill your pen through the nib, that is, you dip the whole thing in ink and use the converter to draw ink into it, you will probably get a little bit of ink inside here, and I think you'll be able to see it because you can actually see the sort of copper brass ring here around the end of the section. These Schmidt nibs always have this, actually not in the section, it's on the nib unit, but you can see that through there. So I think if you fill it through the nib, you're gonna get a little bit of ink back in here, and that might be a little weird looking to you. So this might be a pen that you fill, you just fill the converter and then put that on the nib. When you do that, this is a standard international converter. It obviously takes these or those international cartridges. You'll want to screw this down as far as it'll go, and you just put the end here in the ink, and then you'll draw up some ink here. Now, one thing to know, or like some things to think about when you do that, is you'll want to clean off the end here a little bit, and you'll also want to expel by that I mean just like push out a couple, 3 drops of ink, and then draw the piston back up, because you'll want this to be clean going into this section, so you don't get, so you don't see ink through there, and also it'll keep it from like just kind of gooshing out when you put it on there, right? Because if you're putting something in there, this little nipple, you've got to have some air, some space for it to go into. So you want to have a little air bubble up here. So you want to spill a little bit of ink, and you just pop that on there, and that has a nice tight fit. And then you can either wait for the ink to get to the nib. It might take a little bit, or you can sort of like gently swirl it like this. I think that helps sort of help that ink get down to the tip. Or you can just like dip the nib in some ink a little bit and then just wipe it off real good. Just dip it a little bit, because that'll tell the ink where to go. It helps the ink find its way to the end of the nib more quickly. Otherwise, you can just wait. Like, if it just takes a minute, that just takes a minute. It's kind of the way it goes. Or you can just like work this gently and it'll push some ink through, but that can be a little messy if you do it wrong. So I don't know, it's kind of up to you, but that's how I would fill this pen. In fact, how I'm gonna fill this pen, just to sort of keep the ink from getting inside the section here. If it does get in there, it's not that big a deal. It might look a little bit weird, and I know that will bother some folks, and that's why I give those admonishments. But in order to clean it, you can remove these nibs very easily. They unscrew. I put the bottom here in the crook of my finger, and I put my thumb flat on the top there, and then I twist the section. I don't twist the nib. You don't want to twist this. You want to twist this bit, and you just unscrew it. And unscrews very easily. You can see that's the nib unit, and you can just like wash it out. It's not going to be a big deal, but that's just some little tricks of the trade right there. All right, so that's the blueberry sorbet. These you can find on the Benu website for $157. It's an exclusive for their website. There are 3 colors. There's actually a peach, a lemon, and this blueberry. The peach is kind of a peachish orangish color. The lemon is yellow on the ends, and of course this one has that purpley blueberry color, which is really nice. Cool. This is a really pretty pen. I like it. Actually, I'm gonna leave it out. Oh, this is the Royal Thames, which is one of their hand-painted pens. Has all the same inclusions in the box. You don't need to look at that again. But the Royal Thames is really... Oh, that's gorgeous. I love these hand-painted Benus. These are so cool. So this has a different color. It's not that kind of creamy color. It would look kind of perhaps white until you put it next to something that's whiter. It's definitely sort of a sky blue. You have this ring of iridescent, kind of flaky shimmer in there. Iridescent? I guess it's not iridescent. I guess it's just flaky, like silver shimmer in there, which is kind of cloud-like. And then on the barrel of the pen, you have this gorgeous hand painting. Wow, that's gorgeous. This is as pretty as I had hoped it would be. I think this is really nice. And this is illustrated by Natalia Doronkina, who actually is the same person who illustrated the Neptune's Reach pen, the octopus one that I also reviewed on this channel a little while ago. So it turns out maybe I'm just a big fan of this artist. So these pens are called, they're hand painted by artists who work in like miniatures and all kinds of things like that. And this is gorgeous. Look at the clock tower here. We have the birds. We have this cloud action here, which uses a lot of negative space here for the clouds. More clouds and birds. We have a phone box here. If that phone box had been blue, I would have lost my mind a little bit, but that would have been awesome. So yeah, this is really cool. These beautiful fall leaves. We have the bridge down here with the lights that are glowing. This is a fantastic looking pen. Super pretty. And also, you don't have to worry about the painting rubbing off on this or anything. It is protected with another layer of acrylic. You can actually see at the bottom how the blue is in there, and then you have this like space around it. And that's actually the acrylic layer that is on there. So the painting is underneath, and you can actually see a little bit through here. You can see the bottom. But that's the acrylic that's on top of here. So it is protected rather well. It's not the sort of thing that, it's going to rub off from friction or something. That would be horrible. So I'm really glad they protected that. It makes me feel a lot better about carrying these pens around. I carried that Neptune's Reach pen around for months and months. I've cleaned it recently, so it's not out here, but it is clean. So I went ahead and got a broad nib on this one, as you can see right there. Another Schmidt nib. I haven't inked this one, obviously, but it'll write a bit broader than this one. I have no doubt this is going to write beautifully. I'm sure that'll show up in another review eventually, but I really like the light blue color here. It is opaque, although maybe I'm seeing a little bit of that brass ring that I showed you on that other nib unit. So this might be another one that I would go ahead and fill through the converter and not through the nib, just to, avoid any kind of ink getting in there. Like I said, it's not going to be an issue, like a problem, but it might bother me. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it until just now, but yeah, that's really pretty. I love this light blue color. It's a beautiful sky blue, and these are, I think, very reasonably priced for the product that you're getting. This is not just a random pen. This is a pen with like actual artist artwork on it that took, I'm sure, hours to do. Really pretty, and these are available on their site for $280. That's the kind of usual price for pens that have the barrels painted. The ones that have painting on the cap as well are usually a bit more. There's usually a little bit over $300, which is look, this is not a casual expenditure of cash, but for a piece that's like, got artwork on it, I think that's pretty darn reasonable. And I will have links to these below, which will let Benu know that you found these through this video. And that would be great if you could, go and check them out through those links that you'll find in the description, because it would be nice for them to know that you saw this stuff here and you liked it enough to go and, click a link and, maybe get yourself one. But these are really pretty. Let me grab a couple of things. I can show these to you next to, I can show these to you next to some other pens. Okay, here I have the two Euphoria pens here next to a few other pens that I had here on the desk. We have here a TWSBI Eco and a Lamy Safari, which are pens that probably a lot of people have some experience with. You can see the Euphoria is a bit longer than those. This is one of the things that surprised me about this pen when I first got it, when I first got this one anyway, and that is that it is bigger than I thought it would be. I always thought of these pens as being much smaller than they are, but this is actually kind of a lot of pen. It's fairly long. And then here is, of course, the Pilot Custom 823, which is one of my very favorite pens, one of my favorite pen models. And you can see it's actually just about exactly the same length as a Custom 823, which explains maybe why I like this size so much, because that's kind of the perfect size for someone of my handage. So let me take off some caps here and we'll see what they look like without the caps. All right, so there we have the caps off. Also, I've taken the Royal Thames off there because, these are going to be the same length, right? But you can see the Euphoria is actually the longest of these, and by a fair amount. It's a bit longer than the Custom 823, a bit longer than the Eco and the Safari as well. I'm always surprised that these pens are more or less the same length. I think of Ecos for some reason and Safaris as being a bit smaller, but they're not. They're like the same length as an 823 once you take all the caps off. This one, however, a bit longer. So I think it's got a good weight to it and a good balance, so it hasn't bothered me ever with its length. I don't think I never use it posted. It will post technically, but that's so long that it puts the cap way back over my hand. And I don't think you'll want to do that. But they are faceted and they have a clip, so they're not going to roll away. It's a good thing to just put on the desk and just write with your pen. All right, let me show you how the medium nib writes here, and then we'll say goodbye. Okay, so this is my my Benu Sunday by the pool. Which has a medium nib, and as you can see, this writes super well. And this ink is Pelican. golden lapis, which is a really pretty blue with some shimmer in it. This was the ink of the year for last year, and it works really well in this pen. I've had it in here for quite a while, actually. I think actually I might have had this ink in here since I got the ink. So this was like, I don't know, September or something. I just keep refilling it because I just really like it in here. But it writes beautifully. These Schmidt nibs have always been really well tuned from Benu, and I've always really enjoyed them. Thanks for watching and enjoying these pens with me. I am a big fan of these pens. I think they feel great in the hand. They write really nicely, and I think the price points are really very good, especially for things like these hand-painted things, like the Royal Thames here, which is available on their website. These two are website exclusive, and this one, I think this one is maybe gone, but I got this from Endless Pens. It was a collaboration a long time ago, so that might be gone, but these are for sure still available over on their website, and you should go check them out. So let them know I sent you. Use those links in the description, and I'll see you in another video soon. Until then, think about what you put out in the world, and make it a better place. Also, get yourself a sorbet. It's summer. It's too hot out there. I'll see y'all later. Peace out, everybody.